And welcome back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta, and we got ourselves a good one here for the first of the early games here, not including the Jets and the Vikings. That's a whole different thing. But we got the Bears against the Panthers here. Two teams that within the last 2 years have completely changed the way that their franchises are run, and they basically are going to be forever linked, at least for the next 10 years, because each of their franchises quarterbacks that they've drafted in the last 2 years, first overall picks, the Panthers, they traded away the ninth overall pick in 2023. They gave away D.J Moore to the Bears, as well as a future 2024 pick in the first round to Chicago to obtain Chicago's first overall pick in 2023. They used that pick to draft Bryce Young out of Alabama. We'll get to that later here. But then, fast forward this past draft, that first round pick that Carolina gave to Chicago turned into the first overall pick in the 2024 draft. Chicago needed a quarterback. They drafted Caleb Williams out of USC. So easily, Caleb could have easily been a Panther this year. Bryce Young, who knows if the Bears don't are not able to trade out of that? Do they go with Bryce Young? Maybe they pick CJ Stroud, but for the most part, it seemed like Bryce Young was the consensus overall pick. So if that trade never goes through, we could be watching a game today that could have Bryce Young as a Bear and Caleb Williams as a Carolina Panther. So things could have easily switched and turned things around, but obviously Caleb, he's looking better and better now as a Chicago Bear. It looks like the playmakers on that offense are getting healthy. And that offensive line is seeming to play a little bit better, not significantly. They're still probably one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL right now, but it is what it is. And Caleb seems to be playing a lot better within the system. He seems to be throwing less into triple coverage, playing less hero ball, just kind of taking what the defense is giving him. And for the most part, they're giving him stuff underneath. Sometimes he's finding some stuff over the middle, but he seems to be getting better and better. And he's almost like, all right, this is the team I have. I'm going to make the best of it. Even at USC, especially his last year, he did not have an amazing team. And he was able to make plays out of the pocket. Obviously, in the NFL, it's a little bit different. You got to be a little bit smarter with the ball. You're not going to just be able to lollipop it into the middle of the field and just have your talent beat those guys. But we're gonna see what they do today against this Carolina team that is improved. Their defense, for the most part, was always solid coming into this season. Even last season, their defense was by far their best asset, and that's doesn't maybe not saying a lot because that offense has been god awful over the last 2 years. It's been pretty bad even the year before that. But with Bryce Young, they were struggling last year. They played basically 16, 17 games with Bryce Young. It did not work out. They started the season with him, and it just looked almost worse than it did a year ago, which is tough to do here. And now with Andy Dalton, obviously they benched Bryce Young, and we're gonna see what Andy Dalton does here. I am kind of looking to see what is going on here. All right, making sure that this game does actually show up on my screen here, but it looks like it is. But once again, Bryce Young benched, unfortunately, so we're not going to see the two franchise first overall picks of the last 2 years going up against each other. So we're going to have Andy Dalton, who seems to have this offense playing well. They obviously got a win 2 weeks ago. They had a tough loss last week, but for the most part, they're putting up points, they're putting up yardage, and they seem to be on a more consistent basis, at least in terms of making plays and just being smarter with the decisions that they make. Andy Dalton, obviously a veteran in the NFL, over a decade. He's been on a lot of teams. He was actually a Chicago Bear not too long ago, but he's going to be smart with the ball. He's going to take what the Chicago defense gives him, and I think that especially with a team like Chicago who is still trying to find themselves, I think that's going to give you the best chance to win this game. Keep it close, and then finally give yourself an opportunity in the fourth quarter to hopefully you're only one score down, maybe a field goal, and then get it going. That's going to keep the defense of Carolina in the game, going to allow them to send some blitz, put some pressure, maybe take some chances on the ball, get an interception, things like that. And then also offensively, you don't feel like every time you step on the field, you're just it's gonna be a quick 3-and-out with Bryce Young. With Andy Dalton, you get a little bit more confidence. He's gonna be able to keep those guys motivated, and it's gonna be a very interesting game. I'm expecting a close game. I think if I had to choose, it's gonna be Chicago winning this one. I think it's gonna be a one possession game. I would say score wise, let's go 22-27. Chicago getting a win here at home. All right. Kickoff is up in the air, and we are off, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to go into the end zone, out the back of the end zone. Carolina will start with the ball here. Andy Dalton so far, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 270 in terms of yards, a 1-1 record this season. And if you're just joining us for the first time here on this channel, we are doing every possible game we can. Primetime game, Packer games. We're going to be doing the Packer game later on in the day. So please subscribe, leave a like, let me know that you like this kind of content. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it's going to go for about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Ball is at the 35. Little orbit motion. Dalton fakes the handoff, gets the ball out quickly to his running back, but he is going to go down for it looks like a loss on the play here. That was to Chuba Hubbard. He's running a nice little flat to the right. Bears defense really was able to sniff that one out real quick. And despite the early struggles for this Bears team, the defense has been phenomenal. They obviously had a very good second half to last season, and it just seems like they've continued it here. 3rd and 6. Dalton scanning, throws it over the middle, and it's going to fall incomplete. And the Chicago defense forcing a quick 3-and-out. Yeah, Dalton just kind of threw that one just outside the reach of his tight end there. And the punt is away. It's going to be down. It looks like just inside the 20, down to about the 18. We got 13:21 left in the first quarter here. And trotting out is Caleb Williams. Threw his first career touchdown, I believe, a week ago. And they looked impressive. They looked impressive last week. Let's see if that offensive firepower continues this week. We got a receiver in motion, Caleb in the shotgun, gets the ball out quickly and nearly intercepted. It looks like he was not on the same page as his wide receiver. Receiver was heading towards the sidelines. Caleb threw it way inside and it nearly got intercepted. That was almost a pick six on that one. 2nd and 10, ball at the 18. Williams in, he's switching over to under center here. It's going to be a toss to the left to the running back. Cuts it inside, and he's going to get to about the 21-yard line. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and 7 here. And that previous pass was intended for Keenan Allen, number 13. Keenan, he had to play, basically had to play corner on that one. Had to swat that ball out of, looks like J.C. Horn's hands. D.J Moore in motion to the right. Bunch set, 3rd and 7. Shotgun. Caleb scrambling, and he is going to be taken down in the backfield. He's going to take and be sacked all the way down to the 13. That was by number 40, Harris, just not letting go. Got a great handle on Caleb Williams and was able to bring him down for the sack. Punt is away. It's going to be, no, not fair caught. He's going to withstand that tackle, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 49, nearly down to midfield. Carolina's going to have an amazing spot here to start this next drive. And we have a commercial break here. So just looking at the inactives here, nothing too crazy for either team. Terrell Smith is out for Chicago here, so that secondary kind of suffering a little bit, and then as well as Zach Pickens, defensive tackle. So 2 players, solid players. I'm trying to see here for Carolina. Nothing too crazy in terms of inactives today. But yeah, let me know what you thought of that Vikings and Jets game. That was, I mean, at first it looked like it was going to be a blowout. I think it was at one point 17-0, maybe 14-0. Rodgers having a rough game, 3 picks, one of them brought back for a touchdown. It just seemed like I mean, if the case was they needed Devontae Adams, I think this game is going to be shown as a major reason why they are probably going to trade for him. I think at this point, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, if they don't make the playoffs or make a deep playoff run, they're going to get fired anyway. So I think, if you bring in Adams and it blows up in your face, it will be the same thing. You're going to get fired regardless. So I think Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas, they're just going to say, forget it. We're going to trade some picks that most likely, if it does not even work out, we won't even be here. So, we'll trade a second round pick or a first round pick to the Raiders, future one. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, we're not going to be here for that draft anyway, so it won't be our problem. So, um, yeah, it just seemed like Lazard, he was having a rough game. He's had a couple rough games this season. He's had some good ones for sure, but it just seems like there's definitely some talent that needs to be brought in for the Jets. And it's going to be a handoff on an end around here for Carolina, and they're going to get it just on the other side of the 50 here. Nice little end around for Andy Dalton. Gain of 2. Ball is going to be at the 49 of Chicago. And it just seems like going back to the Jets here, it looks like the Wilson and Rodgers are just not gelling right now. It might take a little bit more time, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. 2nd and 8, shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, quick pass down the middle here, gets it to number 83. That's gonna be a nice gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Carolina. Pass was to David Moore, number 83. And Dalton in shotgun, split receiver set, throws it to his running back in the backfield, and Chuba Hubbard is going to be about half a yard short of the first down. And I mean, if I'm Carolina, you're 1-3. Odds are you're not going to be making the playoffs here. And I get it. Situational football. Sometimes you just got to punt it, but I will go for it. It is a tough Chicago team, especially their defense. But if you can't get a yard, then you're probably not going to be winning this game by a whole lot. Under center, nice end around here. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more. He's going to be inside the 40 down to about the 38. And once again, a nice little end around similar to the first play that they ran on this drive. Gained a little bit more yardage than the first one. That was to Deontay Johnson, number 5. A little bit of a hurry up. 1st and 10, ball at the 38. In the pistol, hands off to Hubbard, who breaks through. 10-5 touchdown, Carolina. Oh, we got a nice. Oh man, I gotta see that. That was all the offensive line there. Nobody even touched Hubbard. So Dalton was in the pistol, ran to the left. Great job by the pulling guard, man. Just swept everybody through. Defense was not in position, and Hubbard just hit the hole and just put on the burners. Beautiful. That's gonna be some nerdy football right there. If you're gonna if you want great film on how to run the ball, how to block for the run, that's exactly what you need right there. That was beautiful. Great motion with the tight end moving everybody moving to the right. So the defense shifted over to the right, leaving a little bit less, basically leaving the left side a little bit weaker. And that's exactly where they ran the ball. Pulling guard once again took out about 2 guys there, and then Hubbard just ran right through everybody. Just a great job. Carolina on the board first here, 7-0. And once again, if you're just joining us, please make sure you like and subscribe. We do every possible game that we can. We try to do 3 on Sunday. Sometimes we can only get to 2, but we're going to do everything we can. We do Packer games. We do every primetime game, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. And as soon as when they have another game on Friday, we'll probably do one of those as well. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. We're gonna be doing this all the time. We're going to be adding a little bit more content this month. We're going to be doing some film breakdown, nothing too crazy. Once again, I'm not an NFL coach, so if you're expecting anything crazy, crazy detail, I'm not going to be your guy, but we're going to watch some good drives. That's going to be my goal. Pick a drive that was the best of the week, break it down, see what it did to the defense, and just kind of find things that we can learn from, get better at, and things like that. So we're gonna get a little bit into the nerdy stuff of football this month. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. It's gonna be smaller, more bite-sized content as well. It's not gonna be 3.5 hour live streams. I'm hoping those videos can be somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes. And obviously we are on commercial here, so we're not missing anything. And we will be live streaming the Packer game here after this game. If this game kind of starts creeping up a little bit into that kickoff time, we will fortunately end this game a little early. But don't worry, I'll do a breakdown, a little small breakdown, kind of give my thoughts of this game in between commercials for that Packer game. But again, if this game goes a little bit too close, we'll kind of end this stream and we'll pick up the Packer game there. I'm a Packer fan, so not gonna sacrifice that stream for some Bears games here. Come on, come on. So 8:49 in the first quarter here. Ball is at the 30. Cole Kmet in motion, hands it off, runs to the right, gets away from one man, and he's going to be a nice 8-yard gain for Chicago. Bears in the hurry up, 2nd and 2. It's going to be a delayed handoff right up the middle, and he is going to get enough for the first down. And that is DeAndre Swift with the first down run. And when they show the clock here, I will kind of see where we're at here. Tight end in motion. Stack receiver to the right. Caleb under center. 1st and 10, ball at the 41. Fakes the handoff. Goes to number 15. And that is Romeo Odunze for a big 11-yard catch and run for a first down. And Chicago is in Carolina territory. 1st and 10, ball at the 48. Shotgun. Throws it out to Keenan Allen for a gain of about 4 on the play. The former LA/San Diego Charger getting a lot of looks early in this game. And that was a gain of 3. So 2nd and 7, ball at the 45. Shotgun handoff to Swift. Breaks a tackle, and he is going to get enough for the first down. He's going to be inside the 40. So yeah, both of these teams, I feel like their defenses are the biggest strength, and it's the offenses that are kind of needing to kind of play catch up here. Under center here, hand off to the right to Swift, and he's going to barrel through. He's going to be inside the 30, down to about the 30. Sorry, inside the 35, down to about the 34. And Chicago's doing a little bit of a hurry up here. They're not huddling up. So 2nd and 4, shotgun, fakes the handoff. Caleb's looking deep. He's going to find a wide open man, and that is D.J. Moore, who keeps both feet inbounds and rumbles into the end zone. A beautiful, beautiful throw to D.J. Moore. It looked like he was running a deep crossing route. Williams found him all alone on the right side. Yep. DJ started out on the left. Just a nice deep crossing route. Was able to get away. Nice little rub by the receiver heading to the left as well. So some nice crossing routes. Got the corners almost to bump into each other or bump into the other players there. And DJ Moore, man, found space and then was able to turn it upfield for a huge touchdown. So 5:44, and this game is tied at 7. There we go, man. Caleb, man, slinging it deep, man, slinging it deep. But like I was saying, both these defenses for the teams have been the strongest parts, and it's always been the offenses. The first couple weeks, Caleb struggling, that offensive line really struggling, receivers just not being able to get open, not really helping Caleb Williams out. Now you're starting to see Caleb and these receivers starting to make plays. The offensive line is giving them time, and it's gonna be a world of difference. We knew coming into the season that this team had talent. They picked up Keenan Allen. They drafted Adunze. Obviously, they got Will Moore last season. Cole Kmet is a solid tight end, and they also picked up DeAndre Swift, who is not only a good, solid running back, but he's also a back that is capable of catching and making plays out of the backfield in the passing game. So the talent was there, but what we were seeing is the offensive line not giving him time, the these players, these brand new players not being on the same page as either their quarterback or just simply not executing well. And when you have a rookie quarterback, you're going to need to help him out. You're going to otherwise he's going to kind of revert to what he did in college, and that's never good. In college it's a whole different game. Sometimes you can get away with your arm talent, with your athleticism to allow you to make plays. In the NFL, everybody is athletic, everybody's strong, everybody's fast. So that's where technique, scheme, as well as just being able to be on the same page and make plays and help each other out. That's where it comes in, and that's what Chicago was missing. There's those first 2 to 3 games, but now you're seeing a little bit more cohesion in the offense, and that's going to be complementary to that very, very talented and very good Chicago defense. And trust me, I'm a Bear. I'm a Packer fan. I don't want these Bears to be good or at least be winning games, but it's just so much better when when teams can push each other. If Chicago can get better, the Packers are going to be better, hopefully, and it's just going to be more exciting football for everybody. So kick is away, going to be in the end zone, and it is downed. Carolina will get the ball at the 30. Yeah, it looks like the safety number 21 just kind of playing in no man's land. Basically, he was basically taking everything underneath. So he should have been able to. They're saying at least he should have drifted further back into the field to kind of allow uh, to at least buy more time for that pass rush there on that Williams touchdown throw. It's going to be a handoff to Chuba Hubbard, and he's going to be able to stumble his way for about 5 yards. Could have been a lot more. There's a lot of space in front of him. Second and 5, ball at the 35. Tight end in motion. Dalton in the pistol. Gets the handoff to Hubbard, and he is going to barrel through for a gain of 6, and that is going to be a Carolina first down. And oddly enough, this defense of Chicago, their best ranking is actually pass defense. They're I think they're in the back half in terms of stopping the run. So I mean, that's probably going to work out in Carolina's favor if they can continue to get the ball into their running backs and get them into space. It's going to be a fake the handoff. He's going to throw it to the flat, and he is not going to go anywhere. Might have actually lost a yard on the play. It'll be second and 11. The ball is going to be spotted. It looks like at the 40. There's a flag on the field. Andy Dalton is yelling at the refs. We got Carolina coaches on the field yelling at the refs. They're saying there was an extra player in the Carolina huddle. All right. So that'll be a 5 yard penalty. That'll move them back a little bit here to second and 16. Ball is at the 35 here. Empty set, three receivers to the left. Chicago sends four. Dalton's got a little bit of time, but he's rolling to his right, and he is going to be able to get maybe 2 yards on the scramble. All right. The old man still got a little bit. He still got a little bit on the wheels there. Not very fast, actually. Dalton was never really known as a huge scrambler in his day, but I mean, he could, you know, he was like a Matthew Stafford in his prime, if that makes sense. Just below, I would say, just below like an Aaron Rodgers, but still, if you give him some space, he could probably get you for about 7, 8 yards. Third and 16, sorry, third and 13 after a gain of 3. Dalton tries to scramble out of the pocket, but he is going to be sacked in the back there. Ran right into a defender. And that is going to be Dexter Sr. bringing down Andy Dalton. There's a couple more Chicago players as well on there. Yeah, Dalton just was trying to bail out of that pocket and just ran right into the arms of two Chicago defensive linemen. And it was a loss of 3 on the sack. And Johnny Hecker's punt is away. And it looks like it's going to be in the end zone. Chicago is going to get the ball at the 20. So we are going to see Caleb Williams and this potentially ascending Chicago offense back on the field here after the commercial break. Oh, correction. Caleb actually his first touchdowns were passing touchdowns were in the Indianapolis game, not last week. Threw two in Indianapolis. So this season he has three. Well, he actually just threw his fourth passing touchdown, and he has four interceptions as well. He did not look. I remember streaming that Houston game. That was a rough game, man. That was. I was starting to feel bad for him, but you can tell he's been improving in terms of the passing game. His yardage has been significantly better. And against the Rams, he did not have to throw that often. I think they were doing really well to run the ball, and he just really was able to take what the defense was giving him. I know it's a generic term, but it's sometimes that makes the difference. Sometimes you don't need to throw for 300, 350 yards, or in the case of Kirk Cousins, you don't have to always throw for 500. But the biggest thing is you can tell Williams is getting a lot more comfortable in the pocket. He's getting a lot more comfortable being able to throw the ball down the field. And I remember when teams, or some people were saying like, "Oh man, this guy looks terrible. He looks like Bryce Young, things like that." I was like, got to give him time, man. It's only been 2 or 3 weeks. Especially the first year. It's basically it's all about learning. The first year is it doesn't always indicate what it's going to be the rest of the career. Um, so and it's going to be first and 10 at the 20. It's going to be a handoff in the shotgun and a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play there for DeAndre Swift. But I like the way Williams throws the ball. He looks like a natural thrower of the ball. And I think that goes a long way. And I think it's just the supporting cast. They just need to be able to provide him with better protection. And I think he'll be successful. And second and 6, rolling out to his right, finds his man DJ Moore, who has space. And DJ Moore is looking like he is going to be having a huge game in this matchup against his former team. Just a great fake to the left, found DJ in the soft spot, and just a massive gain there for DJ Moore. And that's another thing to look out for, man. They're going to feature DJ a little bit more in this game. I think they're going to want to make sure that he can get a little bit of maybe revenge, or just maybe just having a good game against his former team. And it's going to be a handoff to Swift to the right, and it's going to spin and not going to be able to stay on his feet. That could have been a huge run there, but it'll be a gain of 4, ball at the 49, 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Snap, shotgun, Williams scanning, moving a little bit, moving, scrambling, and he's going to be able to get open, and it's going to be close to a first down after Williams seemed like he was dodging and weaving like 4 or 5 guys there. Holy cow. and that's going to be a first down for the Bears, and it'll be the last play of the first quarter here. Williams, man, just man, the guy is shifty, dude. Yeah, Carolina. There's like three guys that had a chance at him, and neither of them was really able to get much of anything. Big 94 there for Carolina was the closest guy that was able to that would have been able to bring him down for a loss. But man, Williams, dude. Yeah, Williams has not had to throw a whole lot in this game so far. Only just 5 attempts in that first quarter. Only three receivers caught any passes. D.J Moore caught two. Roma Dunze one, and then Keenan Allen with a 3-yard gain on his only catch. Man, Andy Dalton having a rough first quarter despite the touchdown drive there for Carolina. Andy Dalton 4 of 5, just 6 yards on those four catches. A lot of things underneath. And let me see here. Yeah, he's mostly thrown to Chuba Hubbard, who has 2 catches for 1 yard. And then DJ Moore was really the only run that went for positive yardage outside of Hubbard's. Both of these defenses, man, they're keeping these for the most part, they're keeping the quarterbacks a little bit in check. Caleb obviously was able to find somebody down the field there for that touchdown. But Chicago, man, they're doing what they've done all season. Their passing defense is one of the best in the NFL currently, and Dalton is struggling to find anything down the field. All right, we are back here. Ball at the 43. It's going to be a handoff to Swift up the middle, and he's going to gain maybe 2 yards on the play. And no huddle here for Chicago. Caleb under center, three receivers to the right. It's going to be a toss to the left there. And Swift is going to be able to find a hole, weaving his way through, and it's going to be a huge gain for Chicago here. Nice job. So there was a bunch was to the left. They tossed it to the left there. Great job by the guard being able to get all the way to the edge there. That's what really sprung Swift loose here. Good run. Ball is down at the 23. That was a gain of 18 on the ground. Two receivers to the left. Quick pass to who is that here? That's Roma Dunze with a nice little bubble screen. Gain of 6 on the play. Ball inside the 20 down to the 17. Caleb changing things at the line. Under center. Tight end in motion. fakes the toss to the left, tries to find some room here, makes a man miss, and keeps his feet in bounds. And that is going to be a first down scramble by Caleb Williams. Yeah, faked the toss to the left, rolled to his right, but there was a defender there immediately. But then was able to, did a nice little stop and go. Found was able to buy himself a little bit of room, and then just turned it upfield and stepped out of bounds just after getting the first down. First and 10, ball at the 13, gets the handoff. Swift turns to the left, and he's going to be inside the 10, a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. Chicago is marching down this field. Holy cow. Second and 5, ball at the 8. Caleb in the shotgun. Split formation. Has time, finds, and he's going to go incomplete. Throws it out of the end zone there. Just trying to find the former Charger there, and it looked like they were not on the same page. Williams was looking for a back shoulder here. 3 receivers to the right. Gets a delayed handoff to Swift, who is going to be taken down, but not until he is inside the 2. That is going to be a first down for Chicago. First and goal inside the 2. Holy moly. Great concept, man. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right. And it's going to be initially a touchdown, but there's going to be a penalty on Chicago. They had 2 players in motion when that ball was snapped. And that is going to be a illegal formation, illegal motion. Yeah, Rome Dunze was moving, and then the tight end moved with him. That was a Cole Kmet. So not sure who was not supposed to move, but and Komet in motion, and it's going to be blown dead again, and it's going to be another penalty. Wow, man, Chicago, they are. What is going on here? Oh, this time it's on. This time it's going to be on Carolina. Actually, they had too many men on the field. Man, the refs were like, we haven't thrown a flag in a while. Let's get into this game too. All right. All right, after those couple penalties here, the ball is going to be at the 3, first and goal, under center. They hand it off to Swift, who is going to be close to a touchdown here. They're saying he is down inside the 1 just before the goal line here. Looks like Swift is trying to make his case to be on the field, and they're telling him he has to get out of there, and he is not happy. So, tight formation, under center, lineman in motion, and they run it to the right, and he finds a hole, and that is going to be a huge, huge touchdown for Rashawn Johnson, number 23. And DeAndre Swift knew. He was like, dude, we're so close. Let me get the touchdown. I got us down here. And Chicago was like, nah, we're gonna give it to Rashawn here. And Chicago with 10:44 left in the half. Barring the extra point here, they should be able to take a 7-point lead. And right now, the way Carolina's offense has been operating, and unless they can get something going here on the ground, it's going to be a long day. Andy Dalton's going to need to really start getting that ball down the field here because Chicago's offense, they look like they are still pretty hot from last week. Man, between the Vikings, the Bears now playing a little bit better. Hopefully the Packers can get back into some winning form here. I mean, and obviously you have Detroit. The NFC North, man, it might be maybe not the most competitive at this point, but it's going to be one of the best divisions in football for a while. If Caleb and this offense can keep on continuing to get better, and the Vikings don't just fall off a cliff, which I mean at this point, what they're 5-0. I mean they're already in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. Uh, Detroit is Detroit. They've been phenomenal the last 2 seasons, basically, or at least 1.5 seasons. And Packers, unless you know the off the field stuff, whatever's happening with Romeo affects the team negatively. Hopefully, it doesn't. Unless that stuff happens, this is gonna be one of the best divisions in football for a while. It's gonna be fun, man. It's been a long time since we've had all 4 teams in the NFC North legitimately could make the playoffs. It's been a long time. I remember when I really, really started watching football back in, granted, 2006, 2007, which for some people I know it's not maybe that far, but I mean, it's been 15 years since then. Um, back then it was Chicago. They still were coming off of that Super Bowl run with Rex Grossman, but with Brian Urlacher, all those guys. And outside of that, they maybe had like one or two legitimate years with Jake Cutler as a real potential Super Bowl contender. I know they made it to the NFC Championship game that one year in 2010, but outside of that, they're always a team that just always fell short of expectations, always fell short of the playoffs plenty of times. Minnesota, I know they made the playoffs a handful of times during the last 15, 16 years. And it's going to be a return here, and he's going to be down at the 29, a yard short of if he would have taken a knee. But yeah, the Vikings. But once again, Vikings I think they've only made it to the divisional round twice. Um, Outside of that one year where they had Brett Favre bring them to basically the doorstep of the Super Bowl. And Detroit, up until, most of their history, has not been ultra competitive Super Bowl contenders until recently. So, and 1st and 10, gets the ball out to his wideout, and he's going to be able to only get maybe 2 yards on the play there. Gain of 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 8. Ball at the 31. 2 receivers to the left, tight end in motion. Hands it off to the running back, who's going to get maybe 3 yards on the play. There's not a whole lot going on right now. You can tell Dalton is Seems a little frustrated with the play call. 3rd and 6. Three receivers to the left. Dalton in shotgun, running back to his right. Chicago sends four. Dalton scrambling, tries to get it down to his running back, Hubbard, who is only going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a quick 3-and-out for Carolina here. This Bears defense, they are mauling this Carolina team right now. They're not giving anything away. Nothing deep. Dalton just can't seem to find anybody. He has time. He's getting like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, but then has to get that ball out, dumps it down, and then immediately you just see 3 or 4 Chicago Bears just converge on the ball, man. Just a great job. And Johnny Hecker's kick is nearly blocked, and it's gonna have a good bounce. Ball initially bounced just outside the 30, but it was able to bounce all the way down to the 20. They returned it, but he is dropped at the 25. So what looked like a really bad punt turned into a decent punt and very short on the return. So yeah, once again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be doing 3 games today. Obviously, this game we're going to be doing the Packer game, and then we're going to be doing Sunday night Dallas at Pittsburgh, which should be a pretty darn good game. I believe Dallas, they've been struggling. If you talk to their fans, the sky is falling. Um, but I think there's too much talent on that entire team for it not to eventually get a little bit better. I think they're going to be a powerhouse? No. I think they lost too much talent defensively, as well as their offense just does not seem to be on the same page. And there's definitely a lack of talent there. Their running game is god awful. There's no depth to that wide receiver group right now, but they still have playmakers. They just need to be able to find ways to get those guys the ball, man. I mean, it's wild that they're struggling this much, but as a person that knows Mike McCarthy, he's going to be able to luck his way, and that's nothing against Mike McCarthy, but he's going to be able to luck his way into some wins here. So, Seastrom, what's going on, man? Welcome, welcome. Oh heck yeah, man! Now do your thing, man. Do your thing. I'm glad you're here, my friend. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Let me know if you're going to be watching the Packers and Rams game later in the day. But But yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun day. It's gonna be 3 games. Then we're gonna obviously do Monday night tomorrow. So it's gonna be a busy couple days for the channel, but hopefully it's gonna be pretty good. All right. 1st and 10. Bears in the eye, 2 receivers to the right. Keenan Allen in motion to the left. They toss it to the left, and Swift not able to get anything there. Gonna be taken down at the line. Oh, absolutely, bud. Yeah, we're doing all 3 today. We're doing this one, the Packers, and we're doing Sunday night today. So I'll be streaming for sure. Appreciate you, Storm. Second and 11 here. Split formation. Williams in the shotgun. Scanning, scanning. Finds somebody down the middle, but it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to D.J Moore. And that was C.J. Horn on the coverage. That was a good throw by Caleb. Great throw. Right on the numbers. But the coverage was really good, and DJ just could not bring it in. Third and 11, two receivers to the right. DJ Moore at the bottom of the screen. Two backs in the backfield. Williams has time, finds his man who's going to be able to break a tackle, and he is going to be all the way down to the 41, and that is going to be a Chicago first down. And that is Williams' first completion to a player that is not one of his main three wideouts. And shotgun handoff up the middle. And that's going to be a nice gain for Rashawn Johnson. Gain of about 8 on the play. It's going to get the ball to the 48. Second and 2. Another handoff to Johnson. And he's going to fall forward for a big gain of 4. That is going to be first down for Chicago. They are in Carolina territory. And Chicago, once again, they're doing a nice little hurry up here. This is the third drive where they've just kind of put the no huddle and just get everybody to the line and kind of giving Williams looks like free reign because he is changing things up here. So two receivers at the bottom of the screen, shotgun, fakes the handoff, gets the ball out quickly to Keenan Allen. Sorry, no, that is going to be Roma Dunze, sorry. Number 15 there. Be a gain of 5 on the play. And shotgun gets the handoff to Johnson, who is going to go up the middle, and he's going to rumble his way down to about the 40, maybe the 39. It'll be either way. It'll be a short third down, and the clock is at 5:12, 5:11, 5:10, 5:09, 5:08, 5:07. If you want to sync it up, and tight set gets the handoff to Roshan, and he's going to be stopped a yard short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1 for Chicago here. They are inside the 40, so this would be roughly a 56-yard kick. But I think they're going to go for it here. I think just the way that they've been playing and moving the ball, I would definitely go for it. So I agree with the call here. Oh, we got some big guys up here. Running back in motion. They hand it off to Rashawn in the fullback position, and he is going to be stuffed. And that is going to be a turnover on downs for the Bears. I did not like that play at all, man. I never liked these weird plays that kind of like they try to motion a guy out and they just try to give it to like a guy who's like in the fullback position. Like you got to give these guys like a head of steam if you're gonna do that. When they're only like 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage, they just don't have enough momentum. It's kind of similar to what Atlanta did a couple weeks ago with Bijan Robinson. They really they were trying to move him like sideline to sideline and then trying to see if he could find a hole. It's like, no, dude, just run it right up there, man. It's 4th and 1. So we are in commercial break here. The clock is at 4:18. So coming up on halftime here. Williams so far 7 of 10 for 98 yards and a touchdown. So looking solid, not putting up some massive numbers, but I mean, if they can get a win here, that's all that's going to matter. All right. After the turnover on downs here, Carolina will take over at the 39. Dalton under center. Receiver motioning out. It's going to be a handoff up the middle for Hubbard, and he's going to get down to the 45, a gain of 6 on the play. And the clock is going to be under 4 minutes left in the half. Tight end in motion under center here. Chicago sends 5, and they are going to get to Andy Dalton here. It's going to be a big loss here, down at about the 35, loss of 10 on the sack. Just a great blitz right there by Chicago. They showed it late, and they were able to get to Dalton. 3rd and 12. Dalton dropping back, has to dump it down underneath. And oh no, Carolina fumbles, but one of their guys is, oh, he took a shot. That was not pretty. That's one of those where he just got hit in the head and then just his body went limp. Ah, uh, that was to the tight end Tremble. Yeah, he lowered his helmet, try to brace for the or try to make some contact, and then just, oh, dude, that's ugly. So yeah, it's a fumble. It was recovered by Chicago, but we're kind of more worried about the player that's down on the ground here. He was trying to get up, but you could tell he was like, it was like a boxer that just got knocked out. It was not pretty. Hopefully he can get up and he's okay, man. We're on a injury timeout here, injury commercial break here. Yeah, that was Tommy Tremble. He was a third round pick for Carolina in 2021, the 83rd overall pick out of Notre Dame. Yeah, so Notre Dame, he came out of Johns Creek, Georgia here. Southern guy. Yeah, man. Just giving a little bit of a shout out to Tommy Tremble here, man. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he can get back on his feet. And yeah, I don't even want to say get back in this game. Obviously, I would be surprised if he's back in this game. But yeah, hopefully he can get healthy and hopefully he's good to come back when he can. Well, good news is he's walking to the back to the locker room on under his own power. No stretcher, no ambulance, and it seems like he's able to move everything perfectly fine. So that's a good thing. So far in this game, two fours, three and outs, uh, two sacks, one turnover for Chicago's defense here. And Williams throws a screen to Swift, who has a convoy in front of him 20, 15, 10, 5, and he is going to be taken down just short of the goal line, down at about the 2 yard line. Holy cow. Woo. Just a great job. Just a nice little flick pass by Williams to Swift to the right, and then just literally weaved his way through most of that entire defense until he was taken down just short of the goal line. And it looks like Jadavian Clowney, number 7, is injured on the play. It looks like he was doing a little bit of a pass rush there. I don't know if he got hurt during the pass rush or when he fell down, but it looks like it's an arm injury here to his left. Man, dude, Jadavian Clowney, man, that guy has been not only in the league for a long time, but he's played for a lot of different teams. Obviously, started out with Houston. I know he was with Cleveland for a while. He was with Seattle for a bit there. I feel like there's like another team or two in between, but yeah, that guy's just been everywhere. He's basically just a special pass rush specialist at this point. But first and goal, ball to 2. Bears in the eye, gets the handoff to the left, and Swift is going to be in the end zone. He reached for that goal line. He was looking for a touchdown on the last couple drives here. It looks like he finally got it. They're going to review the play here. It was close. It was definitely close. No, his knee hit the ground, but the ball is going to be spotted roughly just inside the 1. So it's going to be second and goal for Chicago here. All right, the clock will be reset at 2:21 here. Single back in the backfield. Hand it off to Swift again, and he is gonna throw himself, throw himself into the end zone there, and it'll be a touchdown for Chicago. And with 2:14 left in the half, Chicago is gonna take a 2 touchdown lead over the Carolina Panthers here. And it's gonna be interesting. What does Carolina do here? One, they have all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, but if you don't get a first down or if you can't move the ball, you're gonna potentially give Chicago back the ball, and Chicago also has all 3 of their timeouts. Yeah, so Carolina is gonna I mean, they need points regardless, and I think Chicago, I'm pretty sure, is gonna get the ball in the second half here. So, if you decide to just take this to halftime, yeah, either way, you're still gonna need a first down, but if you decide to just say, "We're gonna take a 7 to 21 deficit into the half," are you confident that you're gonna be able to stop Chicago to open up the second half? By the time you get the ball back, it could be 7 to 28 here. So so does Carolina become aggressive, and risk giving Chicago back the ball with plenty of time in this first half? And then if Chicago can get a touchdown or even or at the very least a field goal, then they can tack on maybe another 7 to start the second half. I mean, Carolina is not in a good spot here. And the ball keeps falling off the tee here, so hopefully we can get a kickoff here at some point. And it'll be picked up at the 1, and it's gonna be a nice return here, 30. He's gonna cut inside, and he's gonna be down just past the 40-yard line, down at about the 42. Great return there. Yeah, unfortunately, Carolina's offense, man, ever since outside of that big touchdown run by Chuba Hubbard, it has not gone well for them. Andy Dalton is just 5 of 6 for just 8 passing yards in this game, and he's been sacked once for 3 yards, so they technically only have 5 passing yards. So ball is at the 43, first and 10 in the shotgun. They hand it off to Hubbard, who is gonna just slam his face into the defender there for a gain of about 4, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here. So 2-minute warning, the score is 21-7 Chicago. All right, I will be right back, guys. All right, back just in time here. All right, so injury update. Tremble obviously had a concussion. He is questionable. And Jadavian Clowney has a shoulder. It looks like Clowney, he injured that shoulder as he fell onto one of his teammates. And Dolan in the shotgun. Split receiver set. Ball at the 48. Has time. Finds a man over the middle. He's going to get the ball at the 45, and that is Leggett. And Leggett looks like he might have injured his shoulder on there. He was able to hold on to the ball, so it's a good thing. Clock is rolling. It's going to be under 135. Two receivers to the left. Andy in the shotgun. Has a man and it is going to be incomplete, batted away by number 29, Stevens. Second and 10, ball at the just inside the 45. Dalton has time, has a man, and that's going to be to David Moore. Looks like he's going to be just short of the first down marker here. Third and 3, and Dalton has a man wide open, and that is to Sanders, but it's going to be incomplete. Sanders was not able to bring that ball in. That's unfortunate, man. That was to Jatavian Sanders there, number 0, who was literally wide open on the sidelines. Easily could have had the first down, but ball just literally glanced right off his hands. So Carolina is going for it. 4th and 3. Ball at the 38. Dalton pressure has to get the ball away, and that is going to be incomplete. And with 55 seconds left in the half, Chicago is going to have a great opportunity to potentially get some points before this half ends. Great coverage by Stevens. Nearly almost picked that one off, but was able to just get his hands in front and just bat that ball away. So Chicago will get the ball with at the 38. They have all 3 timeouts, 55 seconds left, and an offense that is looking explosive right now. So 4 receiver set. Shotgun gets the ball out quickly to number 14, who is going to stumble and almost hurdle his way past the 40-yard line down at about the 44. That was to the former LA Ram, Gerald Everett. Chicago uses their first timeout, 50 seconds left on the clock. It was a gain of 5 on the play. I'm surprised they would throw basically a bubble screen to a tight end. And don't be wrong, Everett is a very fast and athletic tight end, but still, it's a tight end. You would think you would want to get that ball to a little bit of a quicker guy, but ball at the 43. Caleb has time, has a man, and it's nearly nearly intercepted through it into double coverage there, trying to get it to Keenan Allen up the middle. Great job by Carolina there. Not a good decision there by Williams. There was two defenders, and actually the defenders basically dropped the ball. They could have had a pick there. Shotgun. Williams has time, has a man wide open, and that's going to be to Cole Kmet, who was able to get behind the coverage there, and it's going to be a nice big first down. Cole Kmet was smart with it. He just caught the ball, got down the ground, and then rolled out of bounds, basically. Honestly, if he would have stayed on his feet, he probably could have picked up another 10 yards, but it is what it is. Williams pumps, finds, trying to look for somebody, can't find anybody. He's going to scramble and get to the 30 and go out of bounds. 30 seconds left. Still have two timeouts. Chicago, they're marching right now, man. They're not going to be man, they're going to be hard to stop in this game. Carolina just does not seem to have it on offense. And Chicago is already in field goal range. It is possible by the time Carolina gets the ball back in the second half, it could easily be 31-7 if things go right for Chicago here. And Carolina will use their first time out here, trying to make sure that they get properly set. Yeah, Williams, he has looked impressive in this game. It is like night and day from the game that I last streamed against Houston. He looks poised when he scrambles. He's trying to find more players, but then after that, he just takes what the defense gives him, gets a couple yards on the scramble. You know, outside of that throw a couple plays ago where he kind of threw it into double coverage and almost got picked, he really hasn't had an awful throw. 2nd and 8, ball at the 30. Has some options, throwing it deep down the middle, and it is going to be caught by D.J. Moore. D.J. Moore running a go route at the seam, high pointed that ball, tight coverage, and was able to come down with it. Holy cow. Wow. Oh my God. And that was DJ Moore, number 2, was covered by Jackson, number 2. And DJ Moore is having himself a game. 2 touchdowns for number 2, the former Carolina Panther. Wow. And you can tell, man. You can tell Williams is trying to find DJ Moore, man. DJ Moore, man, he's like, okay, you traded me away to get that kid that's on the sidelines no longer starting for you. Okay. And the extra point is up, and it is no good. It went straight up and then just stayed to the right. Missed. So it'll be 27-7 with 24 seconds left in this half. Just a great throw by Williams right down the seam. Just a great job by Moore, man, holding on to the ball. It's looking like a rout so far, man. Chicago with a 20-point lead. Kick goes out the back of the end zone here, and man, do you put in Bryce Young? That's the question. Because Andy has not been able to do much in this game right now. Caleb, 11 of 15, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's also rushed for 13 yards in this game. And empty set here. Dolan in the shotgun. Has a little bit of time. Throws it underneath. And that's going to be to number 0 there. Sanders gets brought down. Looks like Carolina's going to use their second timeout. So it looks like they're going to try to get some points here. But, I mean, at some point, Andy's just going to have to let one loose, man. Taking a little bit of time here, but 17 seconds left in the half. Chicago has 5 players on the line, playing 2 deep safeties here, and Andy able to find a man, keeps going, breaks a tackle, and that is, who was that? Number 18. I don't have that guy yet here. Holy cow! And that's Jalen Coker. I think that's how you spell that name or say that name. Yeah, great job running a nice little out route. Took a hit, kept his feet in bounds, stayed up as well, obviously, and was able to get the ball all the way down to the 35. So 1st and 10, empty set, gets down real quickly, gain of about 8. They're going to be inside the 30, and Carolina uses their final timeout with 4 seconds left. And Carolina is going to send out their kicker, Eddie Pinheiro. And apparently it's been a little bit of a windy day here. So knock on wood. They said Pinheiro is so far perfect for his kicks. It is very windy. It's going to be a 45-yard kick. Kick is up, and it is no good. That was not on me. That was the commentators. All right, I knocked on wood. Can't blame me. But yeah, unfortunately, Pinheiro misses his first kick of the season here. The wind was motioning. I'm trying to think to the right. He was trying to kick it a little bit to the left to see if the wind took it, and the wind never touched that ball, and it just kept on sailing wide left. So even after potentially their best drive since the touchdown drive, Carolina still comes away with no points after that missed field goal attempt. And we are at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, with the score 27-7 Chicago. But let's look around the league here. Let's look at the scores, where we're at here. All right, with a little over a minute left, Baltimore is leading Cincinnati 14-9. At the break here, we have Jacksonville up by 3 over the Indianapolis Colts, 13-10. And with 32 seconds left in the half, Miami is trailing 3-7 to the New England Patriots here. All right, what else we got here? All right, 30 seconds left. Washington, Jaden Daniels is just having his way with the Cleveland Browns right now. It is 24-3 Washington. At the break here, we have Houston leading Buffalo. Buffalo, man, they are struggling right now. Holy cow. They are trailing 14-3. Josh Allen, man, that offense needs to wake up, man. And I'm just looking up at this, the highlights here for the Jets and Vikings game that ended 17-23, with the Vikings moving on to 5-0 on the season, getting a little bit of a revenge against Aaron Rodgers, picking him off 3 times, and one of them being brought back for a touchdown. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Look at that, man. Just before the half, Jamar Chase from Joe Burrow, 41-yard touchdown. And then they went for two, made it, and now it's a 17-14 lead for Cincy. So that's a looking like a good game here. But what are you guys thinking? What's been the game that what game are you watching? What game are you looking most forward to and later on in the week, or later on in this day, I should say? All right, let's look at the box score here of this Ravens game that just went into halftime. So Lamar 9 of 17, 113, one touchdown, no picks. Not ultra explosive right now, but Derrick Henry struggling to find room here, man. He had two back-to-back weeks where he just looked unstoppable. Obviously, last week we live streamed that 199-yard game by Derrick. So far, 10 carries, just 27 yards, just 2.7 yards per carry. Has found a touchdown, though. Zay Flowers, 3 for 54. Rashad Bateman, 2 for 34. Otherwise, everybody else just has one catch basically under 8 yards. Ravens defense has 2 sacks. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. Joe Burrow, 13 of 18, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. And their running game, Zach Moss only just 2 carries for 4 yards, but Chase Brown has 5 for 33. But I mean, when you have Lamar and you have Joe Burrow, it's always going to be a matchup of quarterbacks. You're going to have them being the featured guys. Your running game is going to be kind of taking a back seat. That's just how it always is, especially when you're within the division. Jamar Chase, 4 for 76 and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 4 for 33 and a touchdown. Go T. Higgins, man. Finally getting something going here. He's been very quiet this year. All right, let's look at the box score here for this Washington Cleveland game. Deshaun Watson just 8 of 18, man. 67 yards, no picks, no touchdowns, sacked 3 times. Running game is god awful. 8 carries for 14 yards combined for 4 different players. Jaden Daniels, 11 of 21. So he's not averaging 80% anymore. So he's having a rough game, man. It's over. He's a bust. Can't do it, man. So he's completing a little over 50%, but has a 166, 1 touchdown, did throw an interception. And then in terms of rushing, Austin Eckler, 2 for 60. Holy cow. Long of 50. Jaden Daniels right now is leading the team, at least in terms of attempts. He has 8 runs for 48 yards, long of 34. Scary Terry, 3 for 89. And Damian Brown, sorry, Damie Brown, number 2, has a 1 catch for 41 yard that went for a touchdown. Let me see here. Who else? Anybody? No, nothing of note. Yeah, just a solid team game so far for Washington. Nobody's really putting up some massive stats at halftime here, but I think just Cleveland is that bad. I think that's what it is. All right, let's look up the Houston game here. Look at some of the stats. Josh Allen, man, struggling. Just 6 of 18, so 33% basically. 56 yards, no touchdown, no picks, only sacked once. Running game has not been able to get going. James Cook is just averaging 3.9 yards a carry. Matt Collins is the leading receiver for the Bills, 2 for 27. And CJ Stroud, man, 12 for 25, a buck 87, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins, 2 for 78 and the touchdown. And then Dare Ogunbolowe. Hopefully, I did not butcher that too badly. I believe he's a former Wisconsin Badger, actually, but he has 4 catches, 41 yards. Tank Dell, 3 for 38. Stephon Diggs, 2 for 27. And that's basically it right here. Nothing too crazy. So just a solid performance by the Houston defense, man. They are holding that entire Bills offense way down. Bills only have 103 yards from scrimmage. Yeah, it just looks like most offenses right now are just still struggling to find any kind of a rhythm. I mean, in terms of stats, the best offense right now is Chicago. They almost have 100 yards rushing. They have almost 200 yards passing. Yeah, man, it's wild. All right, I'm gonna step away for just a few seconds. We're about to come back here, so hang tight. All right, just in time. Kick is up, and it's going to be returned. That's going to go down to the 29. That was returned by number 39, Blackman. And they're going to mark him at the 30 here. Williams under center, single back in the backfield, tight end in motion to the left. They hand it off to Swift, who tries to cut it back to the left, and he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage for a no gain. Williams under center, fakes the handoff, looking downfield, has to move out of the pocket, rolling to his right, throws it to a wide open Komet. It's going to be an initial gain of about 13 yards on the play, but there is a flag on the field, and most likely that is usually a holding penalty, and it is. All right. Got the first flag of the second half out of the way. All right. And they're saying there was a hold on DeAndre Swift. I think he just got bowled over, man. I don't think he was holding. Anyway, second and 20, ball at the 20. Receiver in motion. Caleb struggling to find somebody, gets it down to his check down. Swift running across the field to the left, and he's going to be down at about the 25. Gain of 6. It'll be third and 14 for Chicago here. And the clock is, oh, well, they took it away. So give me 1 second here. Shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Williams looking, still looking. It's going to scramble. It's going to cut up field down to the 30, 35, 37-yard line. He's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down. And Chicago is going to punt it away here. They're going to try to force this struggling offense here by Andy Dalton to try to go all the way down the field. Punt is away. Going to be down just outside the 20, down to about the 22. Yeah, we're going to see if this Carolina offense can kind of get back to what they were doing on that first touchdown drive, man. They were looking good. They were able to run the ball. They were getting a few, nothing too crazy in terms of passing game, but they were able to really stretch that Chicago defense out a little bit and kind of open up some spaces in the running game. And they really need to be able to get back to doing that. It's granted that's easier said than done. I mean, the Chicago defense is very good, but they got to do something here. They got to start forcing it a little bit down the field. Nothing crazy, but you gotta be able to make this defense believe that you can throw the ball down the field, and hopefully they'll open some stuff up underneath, whether that's running the ball or just checking it down and maybe getting a little bit more yardage than you've been getting. Instead of checking it down for a yard or two, maybe they'll be able to get 4, maybe 5 yards, make those next couple downs a little bit more manageable. Clock is at 12:13 here. First and 10. Ball again is spotted at the 22. Dalton in the pistol. Two receivers to his left. Throws it out. Going to get it to, was that number 5? That is going to be Deontay Johnson on the bubble screen, and he's going to get maybe a yard on the play. Yeah, so far, just the same kind of stuff right here on that first play. That's what they did on the last handful of drives, and it just did not work. And there's going to be a false start penalty on Carolina here, and it is ooh, some rough. So it's going to be a rough start here for Carolina on this drive. Second and 15. Ball is inside the 20, down to the 18. Three receivers to the right. Dalton in shotgun, motioning the back to the backfield. Takes the snap. Looking, throwing it deep here. And it's going to be a battle for the ball, and it's going to be intercepted by Chicago here. And that's going to be by number 31, Baird the third. I don't think I said that last name correctly, but let's see the route here. Yeah, it's like a double move by, I think that's Jonathan Mingo, the receiver here, number 15. Yeah, he was pretended like he was running a nice post, and then turned it. Sorry, not a post. Was running a corner, then he turned it inside to a post, and the safety read that thing the whole way. All he did was just play basically like a midfielder and just caught that ball. And first play for Chicago here is going to go for a gain of about 6 on the play, down to the 40. Kevin Bard, his 29th interception since 2017. That is tied for the most in the NFL in that span. Holy cow, man. Dude's putting in work. Empty set, quick pass, and that's going to be to number 15, Roma Dunze, with a big first down for Chicago. Yeah, man, just the way Chicago has just been able to move the ball. Obviously, they struggled in that first drive to open up the second half here. But empty set here. Three receivers to the right. Finds a man again, and that's going to be to Keenan Allen down at the 30. Chicago is just doing whatever they want right now. But yeah, but that first drive was, you can tell there was no rhythm to it, some penalties, some missed opportunities there. So first and 10, ball at the 30. Once again, empty set. Two receivers to the bottom of the screen there. Tight end in the slot. Gets it to D.J Moore, who is just able to move, make a guy miss, and he's going to be inside the 15, down at about the 13. Gain of 17. Oh, nice double move there by DJ Moore, running a nice little like zig route. Faked like he was going to the sideline, spun around, and was just able to find a whole lot of space in the middle of the field. Williams, empty set, throws it in the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete out the back of the end zone. Clock is at 8:47. All right. Chicago bringing everybody in. Tight, split, set. Single back in the backfield. Hands it off. Swift trying to make a man miss, but is not going to be able to get away. It's going to gain only 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 8, ball at the 12. And the clock is at 8:30, 8:29, 8:28, 8:27, 8:26, 8:25. If you want to sync it up with me. Receiver in motion. Caleb scanning, trying to find somebody. He's going to look. He's going to scramble. He's going to find some space, and he's going to get the first down. It's going to be inside the 5. It's going to be in a gain of about 11 on the play. Ball will be spotted just inside the 3-yard line. All right. Tight end in motion to the left. Fakes, and it's going to be close to a touchdown. DeAndre Swift tried to leap over everybody. And then they were able to just throw him back. But he did gain a yard, so they're going to be at the 1-yard line here. How have they ever seen somebody get flipped like that? I don't know if you ever, if you guys watched the Avengers when Loki is just getting slammed by the Hulk by his feet. Kind of what they did with with Swift there. They just grabbed when he leaped up. Somebody grabbed his legs and then just basically like catapulted him into the ground. That was hilarious. But did not get into the end zone, but he did gain a yard. Should be 2nd and goal at the 1. And we had an injury timeout here. That's what was taking so long. We had a Carolina Panther down on the ground. That was number 52. And that was Johnson. So hopefully he's okay. So big set here. Fakes the handoff. Trying to find some space here. And Caleb Williams is going to scramble. And it's going to be a touchdown for Caleb Williams. But there is a flag on the field. And it looks like it might be coming back here. Once again, anytime you get a quarterback scrambling a whole lot, especially in the pocket, you're going to get some guys trying to hold on. That was impressive by Williams, man. He was juking, he was bobbing, he was weaving, he was doing everything right there. And it's not going to be a holding call, but it's going to be a personal foul for clipping by number 68. That is the guard Doug Kramer, I believe. Oh, sorry, that was I think he plays tackle. but he wasn't even playing the traditional tackle spot. He was playing like a big tight end, basically. Try to crack down on the defensive end, but he ended up basically hitting him, basically kind of in his back of his calf. So that'll wipe away a big touchdown run by Caleb Williams, and it'll move it back to the 16-yard line, a 15-yard personal foul penalty. So second and goal, ball at the 16. Williams in the pistol, tight end in motion to the right. Two receivers stacked up to the right as well. Caleb has time, plenty of time, and he is going to be nearly sacked. He gets away from one, gets away from another, barely able to get away from the third, and he's going to toss it out of bounds. Whew. And you can tell Williams is exhausted, man. He's barely able to get to his feet, even with one of his linemen helping him up. Yeah, those knees, those legs were chopping, man. I think Williams ran about 30 yards in like a 5-by-5 box. And I'm granted he had good protection, but he like after a couple seconds he stopped looking down the field and was just looking at the pass rush, and then that killed a lot of his time there. So anyway, third and goal, ball to 16. Two receivers to the left here. Finds a man, but it's going to be behind him and low. And Williams, you can tell he is just puffing, huffing and puffing, man. He looks tired. And Chicago's going to have to settle for a field goal here. And Cairo Santos, 7 of 8 so far this season. Kick is up, and it is good. Chicago now has a 23-point lead. That is a 3-possession lead. Showing Williams on the sideline, you can tell he is exhausted, man. That dude is breathing real hard. He was doing a whole lot of running on that drive. That was a long drive, too. A little disappointing that they were able to only get 3. Penalties really killed them on that drive. It kind of kept them moving backwards a little bit here, and then that final one just killed really any momentum. Caleb just exhausted, wasn't really able to put a whole lot of power into that last throw. All right. Got a little bit of time here. Let's look around the league. Baltimore trailing Cincinnati 24-14 here. Just before the half, they were leading 14-9. Obviously, since they got that last second touchdown before that half ended, along with a 2-point conversion. So, Carolina. Cincy is really starting to get it going here. Baltimore kind of struggling within the division, man. They have not looked strong today, man. Especially on offense. They have been looking out of sorts. They can't get the running game going. It seems like when Derrick Henry, and it's what happened in the playoffs every single time. If they can't run the ball, Baltimore just struggles getting the ball in the passing game to really go downfield. And Lamar is a talented guy, but I think a lot of it has to do with partially the scheme, in my opinion. It's always they're always running these little bit of strange routes that just don't allow them to when the play breaks down, it doesn't really allow these guys to get back to Lamar and get into open space. So hopefully they can get that fixed. Jacksonville leading by 10 against the Colts there. New England still has a 4-point lead over Miami. Cleveland still trailing 6-24. And Houston up 21-10 over Buffalo here. So first and goal, sorry, first and 10, ball at the 30. Dalton dropping down, finds a man down the middle, but it's going to be incomplete. Mingo not able to hold on to it. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle here for a gain of about 4 for Carolina. It'll be third and 6. Clock is at 5:54, 5:53, 5:52, 5:51, 5:50, 5:49, 5:48, 5:47, 5:46. If you want to sync it up here. Chicago has 6 guys on the line, and Dalton is going to take a timeout here. Clock stops at 5:39, third and 6. So far, their most explosive play for Carolina in the passing game was that 31-yarder to Jalen Coker. After that, it's a steep drop off with David Moore with 2 catches, but just for 13 yards. Everybody else not really able to get anything going. So far today, Carolina is 0 of 6 on third down conversions. Single receiver to the right. Dalton in shotgun takes the snap, gets pressured, and barely able to get that ball out of there. That's going to be to number 18, Jalen Coker there. First down. Barely got the first down there. Ball at the 40. Andy Dalton takes the snap but falls out of his hands. Able to get it real quick out to Chuba Hubbard, who is going to be able to get down to the 40, it looks like. But there is a flag on the field. And on top of that, there's a Chicago Bear on the ground injured, it looks like. Did he get up? Hmm. Oh, I guess it was nothing. Yeah, there was a Chicago Bear. He was just on the ground. His teammates were kind of like trying to get him up, but he might have just been being over dramatic. Second and 5 here. Ball at the 45. Gets the handoff. Gain about 3 yards on the play. Oh no, for sure, man. It's been an interesting game so far, and they're showing some highlights here. Ravens look like they're making the game a little bit more interesting. Scored a touchdown. It is 21-24 Bengals. But yeah, no. So far the games have been really solid. There've been some really close ones, which I'm happy about. I wish this game was a little bit closer, but or at least more exciting. I wish Carolina would kind of get things going here. Third and 3, shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, running back to the left. Chicago sending pressure. Dalton able to barely get it out, but it's going to go deep. Falls incomplete. But there is a flag on the field. It looks like it might be on Chicago here. And it's going to be pass interference on Stevens. Oh, that was ticky tacky for sure. They're done. All right. I don't like the Bears, but I wouldn't have called that. That is not a pass interference. That was not pass interference. Anyway, ball is now at the 39 after the pass interference on Chicago. Dalton trying to throw it deep, has a man wide open, and Jonathan Mingo able to haul it in. Gets all the way down to the 10, caught it, fell down to the ground, was able to get up, but not able to get a whole lot of yardage afterwards. There was a bunch of Chicago Bears trying to strip that ball out of his hands, but a great throw, great catch. It was a tough catch, man. It was a little to the inside. Actually, no, Mingo just made it a little bit more difficult than it had to be. But either way, first and goal at the 10. Mingo in motion. They hand it off to Hubbard, who is going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. They were trying to run it to the left. Could not happen. He was able to cut it back a little bit, but all he was able to do is get back to the line. Second and goal. Dolan in the shotgun here. Little orbit motion, fakes the handoff, gets the ball out quickly, and it's going to be overthrown. Dolan had a man run into the corner of the end zone there, but the pressure by Chicago forcing that ball a little outside. Man, Dolan's taking some shots in this game, man. These referees, man, there's some guys where you barely touch them, it's a flag, but for like guys like Andy Dalton or Jacoby Brissett, these poor guys are getting beaten up, man. Third and goal, 3 receivers to the right, gets it out, and it's going to be incomplete. And once again, number 0, I think that's his second drop. And that is Jatavian Sanders. Easy pass. Right to him, right on the numbers. And he just drops it. He looked away before he really even secured the ball. He was looking at the guy that was about to blow him up here a little bit. And it looks like Carolina's going to have to potentially settle for a field goal here. I mean, I was gonna say, do you go for it? But I mean, at this point, just take the points. All right, and the kick is up, and it is good. And with 2:10 left in the third quarter, Chicago still carries a 20-point lead. It is 30-10. All right, let's continue to look a little bit around the league here, see if any scores have changed. So obviously Baltimore made it a little bit closer, 21-24. Carolina, Indy is still a 10-point game. Miami scores another field goal. Now it is a 1-point game. New England has a 1-point lead, 10-9. Washington scored another touchdown. It is now 31-6 over the Cleveland Browns. Buffalo has made it close. It's 17-20 here with Houston has the ball, but their lead is starting to shrink a little bit here. Start getting a little closer and closer. All right, Josh Allen, 9 of 22. Still not having a great game, but has 131 yards. Finally scored a touchdown here. Looks like they finally got James Cook going a little bit here. 15 for 64, a little over 4 yards a carry. And Keon Coleman looks like he had the explosive play, 49-yard touchdown pass to Keon Coleman. All right, let's see here. Houston just punted it away, so Buffalo has the ball and has an opportunity to either tie this game up with a field goal or potentially take the lead with a big touchdown there. One 100% agree with you, man. It was like I said, man. I think I don't think Cleveland knew what they were trading away when they traded for Deshaun. As soon as that trade happened, and like some people said, oh, it was a great trade because of the players' talents. But the way I looked at it, and I think a lot of people have also looked at it, is they traded away their soul for that dude, and the price has not been worth it. Like even if you traded a seventh round draft pick away for Deshaun Watson, it has not been worth it. You have gotten legitimately worse with that dude. And whether Deshaun is just no longer has the talent, because I mean, granted, there was almost like 2 years, maybe almost 2.5 years, where he barely played football. Whether it was the off the field stuff, injuries, things like that, it's just has not been good. Or maybe finally the off the field stuff is finally starting to affect Deshaun Watson, or maybe it's already, it has for a while. But yeah, it's good to see one franchise that made the wrong decision, Cleveland, and a franchise like the Commanders, who they've made mistakes even after for a long time, but they finally made some right things. They got rid of their dumb owner. They finally, hopefully, changed the culture, in terms of how they treat their workers, their players, hopefully the facilities and the fans. General manager is not a, a weird person. All that's all I'm gonna say. Um, yeah, it's two franchises that are heading in completely different directions, and handoff is up the middle here for Chicago. Gain of about 3 yards. It'll be second and about 12. So yeah, it's nice to see a franchise that kind of reevaluated their values and changed things for the better, and hopefully being rewarded for that. And now you have the Cleveland Browns who had that basically. They had Baker Mayfield. Was he a great all-time quarterback? No, but he was a guy that embraced the city, embraced his role in it, and was beginning to get that culture changed. But then Cleveland saw they're like, "Oh, new shiny toy. We can get rid of this guy, and we don't have to worry about the character of a human being. We just have to worry about him being able to play well on the field, and we're going to win a Super Bowl." And has not turned out in that way. All right. So 3rd and 12, there was a incomplete pass for Williams. Him and his tight end were not on the same page. Williams has a little bit of time, dumps it down to Keenan Allen, who is going to break a tackle, and he's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 2, and Chicago is going to punt it away again here. Just trying to nurse that 20-point lead. It's going to be under 60 seconds here in the third quarter. And like when you look at Bryce Young's numbers, they're not. I get it for for the modern NFL. They are not good. He does not look good as a player. The team looks worse with him. I'll say that. But in terms of stats, 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, averaging nearly 60% incompletion percentage. It's not god awful. It's not so bad where it's an automatic, oh, this guy's a bust. But clearly, if it's one thing, or if it's one thing where like he just needed more time on the bench to get, to understand what's going on here. But to be fair to Bryce, man, he has not had it easy, man. His first year, his head coach got fired, but on top of that, that head coach barely got there. So not only was Bryce Young trying to learn a new system, in the pros, but his entire teammates, everybody was trying to learn what this new head coach wanted, Frank Reich wanted in the for the whole team. They were also trying to learn that. So it was new for them, it was new for Bryce. And then halfway through the season, they let him go. They put in a new system, slightly new system. And then on top of that, they hire a new guy to replace the guy that replaced Frank Reich. So Bryce Young has had to go through basically three head coaches. One of them, obviously, the interim head coach, but still had to basically replace. Had to really go through a whole new system within the last year and a half. It's a lot for a young guy, and a guy that is not only struggling, but also there's not a whole lot of talent around him, so that's not helping. And then when your confidence as low as it might have been for Bryce, it's like, what do you expect, man? What do you expect? So I don't know. To me, I think Bryce Young, I think he still has hopefully one more opportunity with Carolina to really turn things around. But I think they made the right move by sitting him down, be like, hey man, until we fix what we can do on this offense, sit back, learn from as much as you can, and then hopefully later this season he is back in the lineup, because I do believe that he is a better option than Andy Dalton, at least in terms of his ability to potentially make plays that are off the outside of the system of of the structure of the play. Basically, very athletic guy. You saw him in Alabama do it all the time, and obviously college is very different than the pros. He was with an amazingly talented Alabama team, but still, he was in the SEC, man. That's a that's not an easy division of college football to just, put up numbers. You have to have talent to be able to play within that SEC. So Yeah, hopefully they eventually can get him going here. It's going to be a run up the middle here and a nice gain there. First down for Carolina. And looks like that's going to be the end of the third quarter. We just came back from a commercial break. Come on, guys. Let's go. But yeah, hopefully Bryce Young can get back in the lineup later this year. Hopefully he gets another chance. Hopefully some of the bugs for this offense can kind of get going. I mean, you're seeing it now. This is clearly not a Bryce Young issue. I think it's a coaching or at least scheme issue, and as well as the talent, man. The talent is not very deep with this offense, and that's what happens when you trade away as many picks as they did, especially premium picks. I mean, you have Chuba Hubbard, solid running back, really, really solid. And but after that, you guys Miles Sanders, okay, but he's never been the true number one guy anywhere he's been. Jonathan Mingo, I mean, I'm trying to remember where Mingo was drafted. I don't even think it was. Pretty sure it was not with Carolina here. I think he's on his second or third team since being drafted. Granted, I might be wrong. Let's see here. Okay, no, I'm wrong. Never mind then. It's his second season. I might be thinking of somebody else then. But there's another guy that's like very young. He's still trying to find himself, and I'm talking about Mingo here. And especially for a wideout coming into the league, it is not, you're Jamar Chase, Jonathan Jefferson. You have all these guys that came into the league and were explosive. Mingo was a second round pick. There's a reason why he was a day two guy. He doesn't have the explosion. I know coming out of college, he was. They said that his route running, especially his intermediate and deep route running, were needed to be worked on. He was more of a straight line kind of guy. He's got good hands, they said, and was able to be physical at attacking the ball. And you've seen that during this game a little bit. He's done a good job of being able to get in position to catch it. But again, that takes time, especially when you're not on the same page as your quarterback. Jalen Coker has been the best receiver so far in this game, I believe. Seems like anytime he has the ball, he's able to make space and get open. But there's just a lack of talent, especially at the tight end position, in my opinion, for Carolina. And that's huge for a young quarterback. You got to be able to get a good amount of tight ends, big bodies. They're going to be able to catch the ball and get the ball out of your quarterback's hands really quickly. It's going to be a fix the handoff, 1st and 10, ball at the 37. It's going to be a nice catch there. And that is to Deontay Johnson, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. Ooh, a little bit of a bobble there. See, was he able to get? We got one. No, that's a catch. He's got 2 feet in bounds by the time he secured the ball. All right, the ball is going to be inside the 40, down to about the 43. And it's going to be run up the middle by Hubbard. He's going to get just inside the 40. And the clock is at 5:53, 3 13:50, 13:49, 13:48. If you want to sync it up, hand it off to Hubbard, who is going to go for maybe 2 yards on the play. Yeah, the Chicago defense has done a better job of defending the run. They came into this game once again, I think in the back half of run defense, but they have done a really solid job. And granted, Dalton has not really proven that he can get the ball down the field at a consistent rate. So, well, you don't have to worry about that. You can kind of do a lot. You can put a little bit more emphasis on stopping the run there. Empty set, 3rd and 5, and it's going to be brought down for a sack. And that is Andrew Billingsley. Not what you wanted there, man. And Dalton almost fumbled that ball there. Huge sack. Huge. And that sack also takes Carolina out of any possibility of a field goal. Oh, I agree with you, man. When this game was picked during the poll, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a little bit of a closer game. I was thinking the Ravens and the Bengals game was gonna win out on that poll, but I was like, okay, we got this game. It's gonna be pretty close. We got two offenses that are looking better than they have in the first couple weeks. Carolina obviously looked better with Andy Dalton under center. Williams was finally starting to get into a rhythm with this offense, and both of their defense coming into this game were solid. They were not, Carolina I think was solid. I think Chicago was very good, but I was like, okay, these should match up pretty quickly, pretty well, I should say. And man, dude, yeah, it's been rough to see Carolina struggle this badly. Yeah, I think my prediction I think was 22-27, and Chicago has already scored more than 27, and Carolina is going to be lucky if they can score 3 more points at any point in this game. So, all right, I'm going to make a quick bathroom run here, so I'll be right back. All right, we are back. And I think the only way I see Carolina scoring in this game is with a turnover. I think the defense has shown that they are not capable of going down the field for long drives here. It's going to be a Screen pass to the tight end Cole Kmet. It's going to be a huge gain. He's going to be down at about the 47, 48-yard line. Just great blocking down the field there. That was a 26-yard catch and run by Cole Kmet. Under center, split receiver set, up the middle run. It's going to be down at the 49 of Carolina. That was Rashawn Johnson on the carry. Second and 7. Kmet in motion. Split formation, single back in the backfield. Caleb under center. It's going to be a run up the middle with Johnson, and he's going to get maybe 2 yards. All right, we have a 3rd and 6 ball at the 47 here. Shotgun. Williams looking, throws to the left here. Wide open D.J. Moore, but he drops it. Yeah. D.J. Moore, for some reason, really just jumped up in the air when he did not have to. And, yep, didn't secure the catch before looking away. He was already trying to find all that beautiful open space that he was imagining he was going to run through. And instead, it's going to be 4th and 6, and Chicago is going to punt it away again. And Taylor's punt is up, and it is down. It's going to be inside the 10, down to about the 9. It's a great punt there. 8:46 left in this game. And it'll be first and 10, ball at the 8-yard line. Receiver in motion, Dolan in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, looking, throwing it deep down the middle here at a crossing route, and it's going to be incomplete. Went right through his hands. First and 10, snap over his head. He's going to have to throw it out, and it's going to be incomplete. Nearly a disastrous play for Carolina. That snap was coming in hot and high. Dolan able to track it just before it goes out of bounds, and he was able to keep his feet in bounds as he threw it away. So no Dan Orlovsky situation here. So fortunately, still third and 10, still at the 8. 3 receivers to the left. Chicago sends 4. Dalton still has to get it out very quickly. And he's able to get it to number, I don't know who that was, but he's around the first down marker, but there is a flag on the field as well. And they're saying the penalty was on Chicago for pass interference. It'll give Carolina an automatic first down, ball at the 18, hand it off to Hubbard, who is going to be able to get down to about the 22-yard line after a medium-sized run to the right. Split receiver set. Dalton in the shotgun here. Has to dump it down to his running back who fumbles the ball, and it's going to be picked up by Chicago. And man, when it rains, it pours here. It's great right now because hey man, sometimes you just have to win. You just have to win by defense here, especially when your offense can't get it going. I mean, the Packers did that with in that Titans game. After the first half, the Packers offense really didn't do a whole lot against the Titans. It was the Packers D with a couple interceptions, a handful of sacks. So, hey man, the way however you can win. However you can win. What's the score in that game, by the way? Because I think the last time I saw Houston was still leading, right? Yeah. So back to this game really quickly. So just a great job by Dalton getting the ball out quickly to his basically his last option here, and then Hubbard just not securing the ball and giving Chicago the ball inside the 20. First play goes for a handoff here to the right, and it's going to be down at about the 15-yard line for Chicago. And they're highlighting Mercedes Lewis in his 19th NFL season, the most ever by a tight end. And yeah, that dude, I remember, I'm pretty sure that dude was playing in the league, but even before I was really obsessed with about football, man. So he's been in the league for a long time. He's been playing at a high level for a long time as well. And the pass goes to receiver there. It's going to be a nice little bubble single screen, but it's going to be a first down for Chicago here. It's going to be first and goal inside the 10. Williams today over 300 yards. Yeah, Mercedes Lewis, he may not go down in the history books as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, man, but the dude has been consistent. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and DeAndre Swift is going to be barely able to get maybe half a yard on the play. Yeah, how old is Lewis, man? He's got to be in his 40s by now. And it's going to be a toss to the left to Swift, who is going to be dropped just before the 5 yard line, gain of about 1.5. And Mercedes Lewis is 40 years old. Dude has been in the league since 2006. Holy cow. Jesus. Especially at the tight end position. It's not like it's like a kicker or even at this point, kicker, punter, or a quarterback at this point. And Mercedes, he's a big dude. He's always on the line, man. He's making contact almost every play he is in. Third and goal. Williams has time and is not gonna be able to get it to his wideout out the back of the end zone. But there is a flag on the field. And it's gonna be a penalty on Carolina. Pass interference. It's gonna be first and goal at the 1. And they're gonna give it to Rashawn Johnson, who is gonna bounce his way into the end zone. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a fight. Oh, there's a fight. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we got some fists flying. We got some fists flying. Oh, there's a couple flags here. There's yeah, like, ooh. Oh man, they're still fighting. Still throwing some punches here. Well, most likely the touchdown will stand here, but there's gonna be probably some offsetting penalties and some personal fouls. Yeah, the camera was on Roshan Johnson. He was like celebrating, and then all of a sudden it just pans over to somebody getting punched in the face. Oh man, get a little chippy here at the end. Get a little chippy. Oh, one of the so starting out. I'm not gonna break down the fight. It was just a bunch of malarkey. Malarkey. and they're still trying to decide who's going to get a flag here, who's going to get a personal foul. There's at least probably 3 or 4 to go around. So so number 60 for Chicago kind of added a little extra on the block there at the end. CJ Horn didn't like that, so he punched him in the face. And then another offensive lineman came in there, didn't touch Horn, but was probably talking some smack. Then Horn punched him. Then number 79 for Chicago came up behind Horn, punched him in the back of the head. And then another guy for Carolina came in, and it was a whole mess. So, yeah, I said I was not going to break it down, but they're taking forever. So I might as well give play by play at this point for the fight. So, yeah. Once those two kind of got into it, everybody else just started throwing fists, shoving guys, getting in people's faces. So it looks like CJ Horn was is either ejected or simply the team is just saying, you know what, we're not going to win this game. Just get back in there into the locker room, and you know we'll call it a day. You can shower up early. Like I get what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make sure that the right people get penalized, but I'm like, everybody was punching everybody. Let's just do offsetting penalties, and then the league office can just find the appropriate players. Let's let's just end this game. Let's go. There's still 4:23 left to play in the game, and I guarantee you there's going to probably be some potential timeouts used. So these last 4 minutes are going to be a while. So let's just say it's offsetting penalties, touchdown stands, or worse, just give Carolina the penalty and we'll go from there. It's like, come on, let's move, let's move. So it looks like number 79 Pryor, the offensive lineman that punched uh, CJ Horn in the back of the head, he's also leaving for the locker room. All right, so Chicago is going for two. Very interesting here. Williams scanning the field, trying to find people. There's going to be a flag, and it's going to be out the back of the end zone, incomplete. Most likely the penalty will be on Chicago here. And it's going to be a holding penalty. Carolina that's going to decline, and it's going to be a failed 2-point conversion. Ooh, let's check it out here. Come on, come on. There we go. Let's check it out. All right. Holy cow, man. Baltimore and Cincy 35-38. Dude, Indianapolis tied it up 34-34. Buffalo, Houston 2020. Holy cow, man. Dude, there is some fun games going on right now. And it's going to be returned by Carolina down at about the 25. And it has happened with 4:15 left in the fourth quarter. Carolina has sent out Bryce Young. Is this a benching or is this more of a, we're not going to win this game, so let's just give the kids some experience? I think it's I think it's probably that. But Bryce Young can't find anybody open, throwing it down the field, hits his man in stride, and that is going to be to Sanders down the field, down the right sideline. He goes out of bounds after a nice gain. And that was the running back there doing a great job of getting behind the coverage. His initial route was not going to work. So as soon as he saw Bryce scramble, he tried to find open field, and that's exactly what he did. Bryce dealing the ball to his receiver, number 18, and that's going to be another first down here. And that is Coker. He goes out of bounds, so the clock stops at 3:59 here. Ball is at the 31 of Chicago. Obviously, Chicago is probably playing some soft coverage here, but still. And it's going to be nearly intercepted. It bounced off his receiver's hands and was nearly picked off by the safety. And who was that? I'm not gonna lie, dude. I could have probably intercepted that ball. And then, oh, that was Simone Biles' husband, who could not intercept a give me of an interception. How do you not? Dude, that ball was hanging up there, man. See, that's why he's not a Packer anymore. Guy couldn't catch. Second and 10, ball at the 31. Bryce has a little bit of time, has to scramble to his right, and throws it away out of bounds. Third and 10. And it looks like Chicago's coverage here is tightening up a little bit here. Tightening up a little bit. And third and 10. Empty set. Chicago sends 4. Bryce Young finds a man, and that is Coker for a big first down gain of about 14 on the play. A little under 3:30 left in the game. Empty set. Bryce throws it incomplete. Very late on the throw. Took way too long on that one. He needed to get that ball out a lot quicker. He's lucky that thing was not intercepted. What is going on here with all these games, man? There's a lot happening here. Houston has the ball at Buffalo's 39. Jacksonville has the ball at the 31 of Indianapolis. Baltimore has the ball at the 42 of Cincy. Holy cow, man. Games are coming down to the wire. Second and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. Four receiver set, gets the ball out quickly to his running back, and Hubbard is not going to be able to get anything going. Sorry, that was Sanders. Is not going to be able to get anything going here. Loss of one on the play. And with under a minute, Miami and the Miami Dolphins have taken the lead here. And Jacksonville kicks a field goal to take the lead over Indianapolis. All right. Three receivers to the right there. Bryce Young looking, has to scramble. It's going to move. It's going to get down to inside the 10, down to the 8. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be fourth and short. And Carolina technically does not need to snap the ball here. They can go to the 2-minute warning, but obviously they're going to try to get the first down here first. Fourth and 2, empty set, snap. Bryce Young able to get out of a tackle, but is going to be taken down for a loss, and that'll be a turnover on downs. Bryce, unfortunately, immediately trying to run instead of trying to find somebody downfield. I think he had some options, and that is going to most likely be the end of any scoring here for this game. You weren't wrong, man. It depends on these next 2 minutes, but it looks like Jacksonville's going to escape with a win here. Buffalo is they're going to looks like it's going to be going into overtime here. And what else here? Baltimore has the ball in field goal range. Miami took the lead here in this game, so it's going to be some interesting stuff here these last couple of minutes. All right, we're going to go for just a few more minutes in this game, and then I'm going to end the stream so I can get ready for that Packer game that's going to start in about a little over 15 minutes here. Hopefully that game is a little bit more entertaining than this was. Chicago looked great. Early on, they put up 20 points in the second quarter. At one point, Carolina could not stop what Caleb Williams and this offense were doing, whether it was running the ball, passing the ball. Chicago was basically doing whatever they wanted. It felt like in the second half, I don't know if it was Carolina was doing better or don't get me wrong, Chicago was still putting up some yards, but there were also a lot more penalties, a lot more drops. And I feel like that really killed a lot of the momentum that Chicago had heading into the second half. So I don't think it was really what Carolina was doing. I think it had more to do with self-inflicted wounds by Chicago. So still a very young team, but 36 points against a mildly decent Carolina defense. It's impressive. So we're going to see what Chicago can do next week if they can continue to keep on ascending, getting better as an offense. I mean, they looked phenomenal in this game. They need to get better in the second half, clean it up a little bit, but I think that's my take on it. Carolina, I think it's back to the drawing board. I don't think Andy Dalton is going to take you anywhere. Granted, there's a really good Chicago defense, so it might be an overreaction to say that Andy Dalton should not play anymore. But I think this Carolina offense is just this bad You saw Bryce Young was able to make some plays, but I think that was Chicago's defense playing a little bit softer. You saw what happened when they tightened it up a little bit. I think Carolina is still about a year or two away from really having a very solid offense. I think they need to invest more in the offensive line, get some more playmakers, especially in the tight end position. Maybe add in a running back there, and things like that. I think Bryce Young. I think it's still too early to say he's a bust, but I think the clock is ticking a little bit. Or at least the clock should be starting by now. So, anyway, Chicago's just snapping the ball. They're just gonna end this game here. So I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you so much to everybody that was watching, whether you watched for the whole thing or just a little bit. I appreciate you. Shout out to Seastrom for hanging out, and I'll see you on the next game here in a couple minutes. Green Bay, LA should be a fun matchup. Jordan Love, his second game back, missing his two top wideouts. So LaFleur is going to have to be pretty creative here. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Appreciate you. Have a good time, and I'll catch you later.